Wait, we're live properly. That should fix all the bugs. Now, just gonna have to restart it again, guys. Hope you're all having a good week. Boom, 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 boom. So, as you all know, as you follow, I've got the new whiteboard session out every Friday. It always comes out on the potential Patreon. £1 a month as I said to subscribe, and we should be good to go. So, just gonna get rid of that old one because obviously that just broke. So, full chat, here we are, and here we go. Turn me off because I'm talking in the background. Right, okay, first thing to address, obviously the whiteboard session came out today, obviously, filmed it the other day. That's about association. Are you know, the reason why you keep doing the bad habit you're trying to get rid of, just associating pleasure with it rather than pain. It goes into that in like a deep manner of how you can restructure your habit and your thinking on that. I got some good ideas from that from one of my friends, clients. She came, give us some good ideas. It was great. Today, I've actually been given something that's a bit more, how can I put it, intense to talk about. So, just watching if anyone's commenting below. We've got 2 people watching, but I can't say who it is. So if you're watching, say hi. But today is something a bit more serious. We're talking about how do I, or you, saying it to you. Hi Rachel, hi Nisha, good to see you. But we're talking about how do I identify if someone I know is struggling and how do I help them. It's come from, you know, someone who's very supportive, and they came up to me and they said, this is something I need help with, something that I've always wanted to know. How could I identify someone who's struggling? So there's lots of things you can do, lots of different reasons and ways you can tell if someone's just started to struggle or they are struggling. First one, obviously, we all know it's they start cutting ties. They start not coming to things they used to come to, not being as excited about things they used to come to. Again, it could you might know the situation, you might know the person's going through a hard time, but a lot of the times you don't actually notice that. Maybe they don't answer text like they used to, or something's changed with the usual mannerisms. Like when you know someone, you usually know the daily mannerisms, and they can say they're a bit stressed and a bit like this, but it's sort of just noticing changes in people. So I've got a few notes here, but I really want to investigate this as deep as I can. Not today on the live, but I'll do it for next week. Maybe on the live, maybe in a whiteboard session, not sure yet. But we'll just go through some things we do. So I'll go straight into someone's come to you and they've said, I'm not feeling okay. A good thing to do is assess the risk. Like, is it just, I said just, but are they just stressed? Is it current circumstance that they're making them feel not great? Are they just feeling like they need someone to talk to? Or maybe just a night out, you know, something like that. Or does it seem a bit more serious? The way they say it, the way they come across. Is there something deeper? Is it like, actually, I'm not okay? And you can feel it when they talk. That's always a big thing. So assess the risk, assess what you believe they may be thinking. And you can ask open-ended questions. You can be like, well, what's the problem? What are you thinking about? How are you feeling? And if they're reasonable to talk to you, they want to open up with you, they could tell you how deep it is. With that, when they start talking to you, hi Danny, nice to see you, mate. Please feel free to comment and message and such. I'll still look at it, I'll still reply. But another thing you can do is, as soon as you've noticed that, you know, they're opening up to you, they're saying, I don't feel good, I don't feel that, you know, things have changed with them, like the way they usually are, is listen and never judge. You've got to just listen to their opinion on things. Just because you've been through tougher things, just because you've been through certain situations, doesn't always mean you totally understand the way they're feeling about it. Doesn't mean they can just get over it the way you did. So it's always good. And, you know, you might say, oh, you can get over that in no time, but it's not always the case. So you got to listen, and you can't ever judge when they're talking to you. you can just listen openly, you know. Think about how you would be in their shoes. What would you feel like? Have you felt like that before? And just let them talk, you know. Let them have someone to listen to them. On top of that, you know, what a good way is always encourage people to seek help. It can be through coaches. It can be through, as I say, I'm networked with a company called AlphaScape, and obviously counselling and all the great things they do. All the all the routes you can take. Sorry, I'm not 100% with it tonight, but encourage them to seek help. People who can help them. People who've been through it. People who are just maybe you go to help. You know, like friends who really help talk you through things. Encourage them to find someone who's really good for them. Talk them through self-help strategies. Obviously, I come up with strategies day in, day out for people in stuck situations, and we just try and find what works for them. And you know, they got to test and test, because some things don't work for other people the way they do for anyone else. So you've got to keep testing and keep trying different strategies, but be open about it. Say, look, this worked for me. It might not work for you, but it's okay. You know, it's just, this is what worked. Maybe you want to try that and that, and they go, well, maybe not. Maybe they've tried it before, but you've got a different spin on it. You know, and just talk, just be open, but obviously let them drive the conversation. On top of that, I'd always advise people to keep a journal who are struggling, because it helps them notice things that are making them feel weak. You know, like things they're saying day to day, actions, maybe habits they've not noticed they're actually feeding negativity in their lives. And maybe just saying, actually, I've overcome problems like this worse, and having that in writing in front of them every day sort of gives them that inspiration to not quit. A big red flag though, so we're talking about today's how do you identify it though. That's obviously if they've come to you, they've opened up, great. How do I identify it? You mostly know people's habits, you mostly know the character, okay? So when you're talking to someone, and you start to notice start putting ideas off. Oh, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Maybe you've said something to offend them, but maybe there's something behind that. There's something that they're saying, no, I don't really fancy that anymore. That's not who I am. And, you know, they just change the habits. Watch their eyes. It's something I've noticed with people. You can get a good grasp on if they're aware, you know, if they're present, a way of thinking about it. You can see this almost distance in their eyes, that they're not actually really feeling anything, even if they might be even good at playing it off. I say, you know, it's hard to say, but Robin Williams, he was, you know, a comedian, amazing, but obviously he was suffering, but no one would know. You know, you wouldn't know because he was so good at acting it off. But sometimes there's a tell. There's that emptiness behind the eyes. There's the yeah, and just, you know, another red flag, another thing that I see, if the mood changes, they're very negative about things they used to be positive about, maybe it's something where they're usually they've been down for a while. This is a big one. They've been down for a long time, and you know they've been trying to get help, and nothing's been working. One day they just turn up, and they're so happy. They're like, yeah, how's it going? And they're like giving you stuff. Oh, do you want my new clothes? Yeah, don't worry about my clothes, you can have that. Do you want 30 quid? Here's some money. And they just seem so carefree. And you know that it shouldn't be that quick of a transition. I can understand if circumstances change, but if circumstances are the same for them, and yet they've suddenly got a 100% new mindset, I believe it should be gradual. And with that, maybe it could be that they've decided that they don't want to be anymore, so they've decided to take that, to end it. And because of that, they don't care about things they've got anymore. They're just giving it away. I don't care. I don't want to be here anymore. You know, and they feel free from what's been bringing them down, because they think, you know, well, if I end it, it'll go. Which isn't the way I believe it really works, because that dread just gets spread around everyone else if you leave, you know. It's that you're leaving it with your family, you're leaving that feeling with your friends, with everyone who cared about you. That's, again, another reason why never to do that, you know what I mean. There's always a way out of the circumstances. There's always a way to change how you feel about yourself and what you're feeling in that moment. Identifying it is just being there to talk to them. Just if you notice things are a bit weird, or circumstances have changed, or they're not really speaking the way they used to. Maybe they're a bit more angry, maybe they're a bit more quiet, maybe they're too outgoing and you think that's a bit strange. It'll flag up in your brain, and you just gotta just connect with them and just say, look, I'm here to talk, I'll listen. I'm not here to judge you. I just want to know, is everything alright? And even if they say no a few times, you know, they might still eventually just go, actually, this has been happening. So, look, it's, you know, this is something that happens with people all the time. We can talk through it, we can find a way out that benefits you and helps and stuff. But just let them express themselves, let them feel. The thing is, people forget these days that you're allowed to be sad. People forget that you're allowed to have bad days and that you're allowed to feel negative, you know what I mean? Because all this social media is, oh no, you've got to be positive, you've got to have this, and perfect life, perfect. Hi Rob, nice to see you, mate. Feel free to comment below, just wrapping up on what I was requested. But there's a lot of pressure on people to always be happy, and sometimes it's alright to have those really bad days, like really hard days, really energy draining days, you know, and just say, it's okay. But the more we start talking about them days, and the more we start saying, oh, are you alright? Actually, no, I've had I'm feeling not great today. Oh, really? What's going on? I just don't feel myself. One thing I've always had, luckily, I've had certain friends there that I can go to when it gets like that. Now, I've chosen to ignore them in the past, and they couldn't identify what was wrong with me, because I turned to drink and I started blaming problems on them. Again, another red flag. They start blaming everything on you and everyone else, and suddenly they start seeming more aggressive and more depressed, you know, more, you know, anxious. So these are just a few ways you can identify it, and just be open, be nice, you know, and just listen to their opinion on it. Maybe they just want someone to listen for once. That's the structure and implementation, if you will. That's my guidance for today. But I am going to delve into this, going to get into the science of it, you're going to get into how we can really reach out, how can we help people. Hi Rob, oh well, thanks for joining me. It's always good to see people here, seeing people join us in the chat. But whilst you're all here, let's try and get the mood a bit more positive. So I'm hopefully booking events soon, so we can do live shows, stuff like that. I'm doing new series, we're getting podcasts done, so if you've got a story to tell, you can come on the podcast. We're doing live coaching videos, so I'm going to be having people there where I coach them, but obviously I want to see like a wrap up a couple of weeks later, how they're doing. Did my strategy not work? Because that'd be a great episode for all of you, I'm sure. Oh, his structure didn't work, you know what I mean? And see how I deal with that obstacle where I have to go, right, okay, I was wrong. That'd be an interesting learning session for me as well. So all that coming out, as well as I said, the live events, obviously. Oh, I'm doing a documentary on the sensory deprivation tank, because I went back there not so long ago, and it was incredible. Like you learn lessons, and it teaches you things, and it's just you lying down in a bath for like an hour. Say a bath, but it's, you know, a similar concept. But it's incredible what kind of insights you get from your own brain. But in general, hi Ben, he's next door. I want to know maybe your advice on how do you identify when people aren't themselves? How can you deal with it? Or maybe have you got strategies for when you get down, when you have them energy deficient days, or a day where you're not feeling okay? Dan, yeah, definitely we can do a podcast together. I'm okay with that, don't you worry. Let's get it on the Spotify, the iTunes, everything, you know what I mean? That'd be class. But yeah, is there anything you do when you're feeling not great, you know what I mean? Is there anyone you talk to, or anything you open up about? Maybe it's certain habits you do. I always go to the gym. If I'm feeling like really wound up, gotta go to the gym, work it off, you know, get them endorphins from my brain going, get myself knackered so I have a good sleep and get back on it to my normal self. Writing stuff down, journals, always a great way to track yourself in a way that you can measure it and you can manage it, and you don't have to be too harsh because it's only for you, you know what I mean? I think I'm going to wrap up. Oh, look, there's me on the screen. I think I'm going to wrap up. Has anyone got anything to add? Anything you think helps identify problems, helps overcome that, you know, them really bad days? Or maybe have you got, as I said, New Year's resolutions? We're still in January. This is something I still want to tackle. Any New Year's resolutions you've been like slipping on? You know, it's been a couple of weeks now and stuff like that. Love to know. Let's keep chatting. Let's get this energy going. Let's keep everyone like, you know, connecting. Feel free to contact me if you're not having the great day. Feel free to contact obviously your friends, people you trust, and yeah, just don't be too hard on yourself. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can have bad days, but it's not life. You know what I mean? There's a different way of approaching things at all times. The different circumstance, and I talk about new year, new me, and I always say it's not about changing who you are on the inside, it's about changing your habits so you actually match that person on the inside. You know, get into that level of, this is who I want to be. And if I just did these few things and I got used to doing them, I'd actually feel comfortable with who I am. And then because of that, I can help my friends more and partners more and family more, because now I'm stopped thinking about, you know, what I'm worried about and why this and why that, why am I not in synchronise myself. Anyway, rambling on a bit. Thanks for watching. It's been good. Been here for about 20 minutes, so that's class. Sorry about the mess up at the start with the camera. I honestly had an issue. If there's anything you want to add, please add in the comments below. Loads of people watch this after you as well, so you can help people today just by opening up, just by saying, I like this, I like that. And now we lead on to the end of the live sessions, as what I posted it as Q&A. Do you have any questions? Is there something you want me to get into? Like, well, I'll wait here. Obviously, once the live has gone down, I then watch it for a couple more minutes, like 10-15 minutes, to see if any other questions pop up. But yeah, feel free, just fire away questions, and let's hope I can answer them on the spot. Gonna give it a minute, see if any questions come up, and then we can wrap up if not. But yeah, always take care of yourself, you know what I mean? Always have that, I know who I want to be, I know where I am inside, what habits do I have to do to get there? Why do I, like, with me, if I don't follow my routine in a certain way, like get the things I need to get, enough sleep, you know, the right food, gym time, stuff like that, write my notes down. Sometimes I feel like thinking I feel tired and I don't feel great, and then I get more tired because I'm sort of put them off. So sometimes it's just morning chat, let's get on it. Dan, what sort of different podcast videos, etc. are you planning? Well, here we go. So I've got obviously coaching, which we do, the podcasts are going to be more collab, more like bringing people in who have experiences, who have stories, who have, where I can learn as well. Maybe people with specialists in certain areas, people with different arts, people with different talents, where they can educate me how their art has helped them, or what they know about, you know, life, maybe mental illness, maybe habits, maybe wealth, maybe whatever, and just get that drilled in for not just me, but everyone watching. The videos are going to be more sort of like entertainment based, where it's like, you know, you see on Netflix and stuff, where it's like, oh, this is this coaching session, you know, this is how this went, oh, a couple of weeks later, this is what happened. Oh, Mr. Rob, it's all about... That's great, yeah. For all you who didn't see Rob's comment, just go and have a look what he's just put. It's incredible. I might actually share that another time, you know, or maybe keep a log of all the different things you guys advise. So then when we're live, we may be able to get you out and read them out, because they're your comments at the end of the day. Yeah, great point, you know what I mean. Is there any other questions? I hope that answered your question, Dan. Sorry, I saw another question. I slipped straight in, you know, it sort of takes me off my bar a bit. But the podcasts are going to be anyone who's, you know, who has something to teach me and teach you guys anything of value, or any artistry, or anyone who wants to tell a story. Doesn't even have to be, you know, it could be like a children's story, something you make up with a point to the end that actually touches people, you know what I mean? So, is there any other questions? He waits for the audience. Do. As I said, thanks for watching these guys. Text, you know, I've got, new news. Got a full-time job starting next week. With that, I may be on later, so it may change to 8. It depends on getting home. But we're going to still be doing this. I'm going to still be releasing a photo every day with motivation on it. Still going to be doing the blogs, still going to be doing the whiteboard sessions, still going to be doing coaching. Everything's still going ahead 100%. Plus more, we've got lots of stuff on in February coming up, which is going to be well exciting. But just letting you know, this isn't going to fall apart just because I've got a job. This is a priority. This is my mission in life, to get everyone to a level where they feel comfortable in themselves, do what they love, and just support each other, you know what I mean? Take a bit of that struggle away from life and just open up and talk and stuff. That's a great point. Rob's just talked about the, I'm going to use his words here, great. The duality of negative habits of when you go for a drink for someone. Is it good because the inhibitions fall and they release, they open up more when they're talking when they're drunk? Or is it bad because alcohol's bad? It's a very good point. I mean, maybe if someone who, it's a depressant, isn't it? It's very, it's something we could definitely get into. That'd be an interesting thing. Dan, you're saying so people common interest just as much as others, more perspectives, more sides, more stories. We have it on us to tell we have it. Amazing, yeah. Thanks, guys. Honestly, it's class like watching you guys comment and add more and more value to this, because it means it's not just me riffing, it's good to see everyone's connecting. You're getting your voice heard in a way that actually helps a community of people. Like, usually we get about 30, 35 views on this of people who support us, and that's growing every week, which is crazy for me. I'll wrap up here just saying thanks again for coming. Like, this is awesome, like seeing this grow. I didn't really do a year recap from last year. We had loads of problems last year, and then we've got to this point now where it seems to be growing and growing. People are getting new messages every day, helping new people, and more people are contributing and sharing their ideas and their advice, and it's just awesome seeing everyone to come together just to, because obviously I create habits in other ways. I don't just do the mental health side of stuff. I do habits in, fitness and stuff like that, and I will be structure, business, finance, whatever. But that's why we need to learn together. Let's share all of our experience and all grow together, because that'd be class if you ask me. You know what I mean? Having a whole, rather than a Google, just having everyone to turn around and going, this is what I need help with, and having a community of people going, this is how you fix it, strategy, implementation, or saying, I need someone to talk to, and not just me, not just the coaches, but anyone can pick it up and go, look, this is my advice, what do you think, are you okay, stuff like that. Hey, Jess, it's good to see you, mate. I hope you had a good birthday. I keep looking at there when I'm talking. Yeah, weird. I hope you had a good birthday, mate. I hope you're doing well. Thanks again for the support. Always class to see you here. Are you with? Are you? Yeah, man. But yeah, good to see you on again. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna wrap up. Sorry, Jess. Sorry, you just missed it. Excellent. And then obviously this new year, it's going to get warmer in a few months. We're going to be getting on the retreats, guys. People who are really struggling, people who don't know how to change the habits they've got, or the thought processes they've got, the emotions they've got, they just don't know how. Take them away for a couple of days, like a kidnapping, but not, just as a joke. But no, like a retreat where they get to learn how to re-look at things and like our thought processes and really understand themselves more and the values more, and just try and build on that. So that's me today. I'm gonna go into what's Rob's. I'm impressed you can see your thoughts, but let's see next time. Right, awesome. Thanks, guys. Look at the comments. Like, the comments today have been on fire. Like, better advice than I'm giving. It's surprising. But no, seriously, it's really good to see everyone contributing and connecting. So I'll see you all soon, and Pete out. See you in a bit, mate.